This is the Grave of Glenvale realm, and these are the Gallows. If you've played Dead by Daylight for probably like a little bit more than 200 hours, you probably know that exactly one generator is guaranteed to spawn on this platform, no matter how the map gets randomly generated. But did you know that some players have actually experienced a setup where the upper platform of the Gallows is completely empty and there is no gen that can be found there? This also means that there is no way to activate the trapdoors that usually open by themselves whenever the usual generator is completed. I wanna ask you, how many of you have ever seen this thing happen before, and did you even know that it was possible? Speaking of the Gallows, another anomaly relating to this landmark is that originally, the hook that currently spawns right near the structure was actually planned to spawn on top of the Gallows platform, as we can see from the literal website for Dead by Daylight. Now, the generator not spawning here was eventually either presumed to be a bug or just something that the developers were testing and trying out. Regardless, I don't think I have ever witnessed this setup in game myself. As for the hook spawn, it's probably just a very early version of the map that was changed during development. But things like this aren't all too surprising, as many players have reported other kinds of strange generator setups over the years. For instance, a user on Reddit once witnessed a generator spawn above the bathroom, in the room with the two god pallets on the Gideon Meat plant map. Once again though, I have never seen this kind of map generation before myself. Nevertheless, some people are claiming that this is completely normal but just a very rare occurrence. It is well known that from the outside area near the exit gates, the treatment theater looks absolutely massive with multiple floors being present in the building. Well, if you've ever been out of bounds on this map before, then you would know that these are just fake walls that have been placed there as an illusion, in order to trick the player into thinking that there is more to this map than there actually is. Furthermore, a second floor can only be accessed at the main room of the map, and it's honestly a pretty small area. But in this clip from Oddsdarva where he's using the perk Claustrophobia, a strange window vault located way above the actual map gets highlighted. Could it be a part of a secret third floor of the map? Well, honestly, no. It was probably just something accidentally left there by the developers, which they forgot to remove. Still, the definitive cause for this window spawning there is currently unknown. Finding a mystery box in the current Bloodweb should be pretty much impossible, right? After all, they were officially removed from the Bloodweb during patch 6.3.0, along with the other Bloodweb improvements. But a lesser known anomaly is that you can actually still get one to spawn in your Bloodweb. As you might know, during some events there are special event mystery boxes that can spawn in the Bloodweb. And if you generate a Bloodweb level with that type of mystery box during said event, after the event is over, the mystery box from that will get automatically converted into a regular one. I personally found this out while leveling up Adam after a previous Lunar New Year event had ended, but some people have reported that some of their old default mystery boxes have also been turning into Halloween treats for some odd reason. Now, I know that the default mystery boxes were re-enabled for the Blood Moon event, however this entry on the list specifically refers to when an event mystery box gets converted into a regular one. Another anomaly from DBD's history are games where there is more than one killer in the same match. Historically, most of these cases involve hackers causing this to happen, and very rarely has this been a case of bugs or glitches occurring. Something to note is that most clips of this are only from the killer's perspective, so I'm not quite sure how the terror radius works from the survivor's point of view. A noteworthy case is a match from an Oddsdarva stream from a couple of years ago. As you can see, there are 3 total killers in the same match: Spirit, Oni and the Hillbilly. Additionally, killer powers are programmed pretty much the exact same way as survivor items, the only difference being that killer powers cannot be dropped on the ground by will. However, since these were hackers, they were actually able to bypass this restriction and freely leave their powers on the ground for other players to pick them up. Fairly interesting is that the picking up animation is the same as the trapper picking up one of his traps, which makes sense since that killer is the only one in the game that can willfully set down his power, and essentially have no power at all if he wants to. All of this with the swapping of killer powers kind of reminds me of the 1.3.1D update back from the end of 2016, where a bug was going around which allowed you to equip any killer power on any character. Now, if killer powers are programmed similarly to survivor items, then why can't survivors pick up killer powers from the ground? Well, they can, it's just that they aren't really able to use them in any kind of way. If you're interested in seeing more stuff like this, make sure to check out the video in the top right corner of the screen. Overall, I would say that, even though hackers are often looked down upon since they mostly make the game miserable for the other players, I can't deny that there are some instances where they cause honestly pretty hilarious interactions. Okay, now this is not really an anomaly but more of a scrapped mechanic that I found out about recently, and I thought it was really interesting, so I wanted to quickly share that with you. As you might already know, totems were first added to Dead by Daylight with the intention of being kind of a second objective for survivors to complete, and as a way to discourage them from gen rushing. However, did you know that originally there was a different kind of objective that the developers were prototyping and maybe planning to implement in the game? Well, about a little bit more than a year ago, this picture was leaked in the DBD Leaks Discord server, which showcases a certain scrapped mechanic referred to as fuel. Let's analyze the screenshot. This is a mech on an old Autohaven Wreckers map located near a jungle gym, who is quote-unquote searching for fuel as the interaction text says. The animation looks similar to the one for generator repairing, and the interactable prop resembles some kind of barrel or water tank. Now, I think it wouldn't be a stretch to speculate and suggest that survivors were planned to first have to find some kind of fuel before being able to repair the generators or something along those lines. Or maybe this fuel mechanic was something related to alternative ways for escaping the trial that were also originally being developed, such as for instance escaping by car. Regardless, none of these things made it to the official versions of the game, and unfortunately we don't have any other information about this fuel objective. We don't even know which version of the game this was found in, as the person who leaked this hasn't really provided any further info except for this picture and the short explanation. If any of you guys has any clues or knows something else about this, let me know down in the comments, as I would love to know. Well, I guess that was it. We went through the strangest anomalies from Dead by Daylight's history. I sincerely hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that you learned something new from it. If you did, then make sure to let me know by leaving a like down below, and also I would be glad if you would consider subscribing as well. Anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!